Sodium chloride, commonly known as salt, is a chemical compound found naturally in soil and seawater. It is an essential mineral for our health because sodium is an element that helps regulate the balance of fluids in our body and also contributes to the proper functioning of our muscles and nerves. Sodium chloride is also important for the taste and preservation of food, and is widely used in the food industry and in cooking to enhance the flavor of food and to preserve it. However, excessive salt consumption can be detrimental to our health and increase the risk of diseases such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Therefore, it is important to consume the right amount of salt and maintain a proper balance in our diet. Sodium chloride, or salt, has several benefits for our body when consumed in adequate amounts. Such as helping to regulate blood pressure, sodium is a mineral that helps maintain fluid balance in the body. An adequate amount of sodium is necessary to maintain normal blood pressure. However, when consumed in excess, sodium can contribute to high blood pressure, which increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. Helps maintain fluid balance in the body. Sodium is an electrolyte that helps regulate fluid balance in the body. It is necessary to maintain adequate hydration and for our muscles and nerves to function properly. Contributes to the transmission of nerve impulses. Sodium is essential for the transmission of nerve impulses in our body. It helps nerve impulses travel from one nerve cell to another and is necessary for our muscles to contract and relax properly. Aids in the absorption of nutrients. Sodium also plays an important role in the absorption of nutrients. It helps transport nutrients through cell walls and into the bloodstream. It is important to note that these benefits are only obtained when you consume the right amount of sodium. Excessive salt consumption can have negative effects on our health such as increased blood pressure, fluid retention, and other health problems. Let's talk about arterial hypertension. Arterial hypertension, or high blood pressure, is one of the main risks associated with excessive salt consumption. Too much sodium in our bloodstream can cause blood vessels to constrict and increase blood pressure, which can increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other health problems. Fluid retention. Excess sodium in our diet can also cause our body to refluid, which can cause swelling and other health problems. Heart disease. Excessive salt intake has been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, such as coronary heart disease, heart failure, and heart attacks. Kidney problems. Too much sodium in our diet can also have negative effects on our kidneys. It can increase the amount of work the kidneys must do and can lead to long-term kidney problems. Osteoporosis. Excessive salt intake has also been linked to an increased risk of osteoporosis. Too much sodium in our diet can cause our body to eliminate calcium, which can weaken bones and increase the risk of fractures. Therefore, it is important to consume salt in moderate amounts and to balance intake with a healthy, balanced diet. Limiting daily sodium intake to 2.5 grams per day is a general recommendation for most people. However, for those with certain medical conditions, such as high blood pressure, the recommended intake may be even lower. Sodium chloride or salt is a common ingredient in many foods and can be found in a variety of food sources. The following are some food sources rich in sodium chloride. Bread. Many types of bread, especially white bread, contain salt. In addition, many foods that are prepared with bread, such as sandwiches and hamburgers, may also contain additional salt. Cheese. Cheese is another common source of sodium chloride. Processed and aged cheeses, such as Cheddar, blue cheese, and Parmesan, can contain especially high levels of salt. Meat. Many types of meat, such as pork, chicken, and beef, naturally contain sodium. In addition, many processed meat foods, such as sausage and bacon, often contain added salt. Canned foods. Many canned foods, such as soups, vegetables, and beans, often contain added salt to improve flavor and shelf life. Condiments and sauces. Many condiments and sauces, such as soy sauce, bro sauce, and K sauce, can also contain significant levels of salt. It is important to remember that the amount of salt in foods can vary widely depending on the brand and method of preparation. Reading food labels and choosing low-sodium options can help reduce overall salt intake. It is also important to remember that some foods, such as fresh fruits and vegetables, do not naturally contain sodium and can help balance a low-sodium diet. Below are some recommendations for maintaining a healthy sodium chloride intake. Limit daily intake. The recommended daily amount of sodium for adults is no more than 2 grams 300 milligrams per day. For people with high blood pressure or over the age of 50, the recommendation is no more than 1.5 grams per day. It is important to check food labels and make sure you do not give up this recommended daily amount. Avoid processed foods. Processed foods often contain significant amounts of salt and sodium. Instead, it is recommended to choose fresh and natural foods, such as fruits, vegetables, fresh meat, and fish. Cooking at home allows you to control the amount of salt and sodium added to your food. It is recommended to use spices and fresh herbs to enhance the flavor of foods instead of adding salt. Read food labels. Reading food labels can help identify foods that are high in sodium. Also, it is important to pay attention to the servings listed on the label. When shopping for foods at the grocery store, you can choose low-sodium options, such as no salt-added products or reduced sodium versions of processed foods. Consult a healthcare professional. If you have concerns about sodium intake, you can talk to a healthcare professional for personalized recommendations and advice on maintaining a healthy diet. Sodium chloride is the chemical form of common salt, also known as table salt. This substance is essential for the body, as sodium and chlorine are essential minerals for our body. However, it is generally not necessary to supplement with sodium chloride, as we normally obtain enough salt through our daily diet. Most foods contain adequate amounts of sodium and chloride to meet our needs. In addition, excessive salt intake can have negative health effects, such as increasing blood pressure and the risk of cardiovascular disease. Therefore, it is important to moderate the amount of salt we consume. In specific cases, such as in people with sodium deficiency due to severe dehydration or diseases such as hypo, the use of sodium chloride supplements under medical supervision may be necessary. Refined salt and sea salt are two types of salt that are different in terms of how they are processed and their mineral content. Refined salt undergoes a refining process in which impurities and other minerals are removed, leaving only sodium chloride. This results in a very pure, white salt, which is commonly used in cooking and in the food industry. However, this refining process also results in a loss of essential minerals, such as magnesium or potassium. Sea salt, on the other hand, is produced by evaporating seawater. It does not undergo an intensive refining process, so it retains a greater amount of minerals and O, such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, and iodine. This gives sea salt a fuller flavor and a grayer color due to the presence of other impurities. In terms of health benefits, sea salt has an advantage over refined salt due to its more complete mineral content. The minerals present in sea salt can be beneficial for electrobalance, muscle and heart function, and overall health. In conclusion, sodium chloride is an essential mineral for our body as it helps regulate blood pressure, maintain fluid balance in the body, and participate in various bodily functions. However, excessive consumption of sodium chloride can have health risks, such as hypertension and fluid retention. It is important to be aware of food sources rich in sodium chloride, such as bread, cheese, meat, and processed foods. And limit daily consumption to no more than 2,300 milligrams for adults, and no more than 1,500 milligrams for people with high blood pressure or over 50 years of age. It is recommended to read food labels, cook at home, and choose low-sodium options to maintain a healthy diet. In summary, sodium chloride is essential for our health, but it is important to control its consumption to avoid health risks. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you next time.